No one in this podcast can say that they've been closer to death than Monica Gonzalez that I have sitting next to me. Monica was in a car accident where she remembers sitting up and talking when she was in fact unconscious. And during that brief moment, she was dead herself. Thank you for being with me today, Monica.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Can you walk us through that very tragic day?
I can tell you that when this happened, when I had my near-death experience, I was 15 years old. My sister and I were coming home from visiting a family, friends of our family. We were coming home about 10 at night, or maybe a little bit later. My sister had a 1972 Ford Pinto, and if people know anything about the 1972 Ford Pintos, they know that they were known for being like a little death trap because the car exploded when they were rear-ended. And this was a windy evening. We were heading home. My sister was very adamant of always having us put on our safety belt before we went out on the road. It would be so much that she would make sure that I put on my safety belt, and then she would put on hers before she even started the car. And on this particular evening, for whatever reason, we just did not put on our safety belt. We headed home. And as my sister was driving on the freeway, she decided to merge over to the left. As she merged over to the left, a gust of wind came and carried the little car over not one lane, but 2 lanes. And so much so that it actually carried her over to where the gravel was in the divider of the freeway. At that time, the freeway was divided by oleander bushes. She got scared and hit the brakes, and as a consequence, the car shot over several lanes, and what was coming was a double trailer diesel truck, a semi. And I remember seeing the wheel of the semi coming closer and closer towards my door. I remember screaming, and I remember it happening in such slow motion that I could just see it advancing and advancing until it made impact. And from that, I blacked out. But the impact was so great that it threw both me and my sister out of her door. The car continued and actually hit 2 other cars. But we were shot out onto the freeway. The next thing I remember is that I was, what I thought was sitting. I was lying on the ground. From what I remember is my sister, my older sister Mercedes, screaming and yelling as people who had carried us over from the divider. People stopped on the freeway, and because we were on the freeway, they pulled us over, and they carried over. They had a blanket, and they covered my face. And so she freaked out and was saying, oh my God, I killed my sister. My sister's dead. And I remember saying, excuse me, I get emotional.
Sorry.
I remember saying to her, I remember I couldn't open my eyes, but I remember sitting up and saying to her, Meche, I'm okay. But she wasn't hearing me.
So at this moment, your face is covered, you're laying there, everyone around you thinks you're dead. Walk me through what you were experiencing.
I don't remember anything else, but I remember being very, very heavy and not being able to open my eyes. Or the next thing I remember is that we were in the hospital. I was being rolled into the hospital. I had broken my front teeth. I had scraped my body on my face, my arms, my legs. Luckily, I had long hair, and it wrapped around my face and prevented it from scarring. But it was a pretty traumatic experience. What was more traumatic is seeing someone or hearing someone freak out.
And you said that you felt like you were saying something back to your sister?
Yes, I from what I remember is I sat up. I sat up and I said, Meche, I'm okay. Meche, I'm okay. And I kept on saying it louder because she wasn't hearing me. And she kept on screaming hysterically, my sister's dead, I killed my sister.
Do you remember seeing yourself? Or
no.
You just, okay.
I remember my eyes were too heavy, as if I was not really here. like I was in a different level. But ever been woken up from a sleep, but you're not awake, without your eyes actually seeing, because I couldn't see, I couldn't open my eyes.
So it was almost like a sensory feeling where you were there, but you felt like you were there in a different way.
Yes, and I was trying to make my sister hear, but she wasn't hearing me. It was like I wasn't there, but I was. But I wasn't, I was like between. So my faith became stronger afterwards, because even though I always felt that I've had like little angels or people looking after me, I just was raised believing in God and believing that that we have little angels and our family members are looking after us. My mother is a woman of profound faith, and she has certain prayers that she says every day. That particular day, she went to say her prayers, and she knew something was wrong, but she couldn't remember any of her regular prayers.
So does your heightened faith today after the accident affect your outlook on life?
Very much so, because just like I'm like anybody else, seeing I had my ups and downs in life. I've had a few health issues, ups and downs like everybody has. And when I start feeling bad about myself or feeling bad about the way things are going, I remember I could have died. So I have 44 extra years that I've been on this earth. I just count my blessings.
To several of those around my age, and even myself, who haven't gained that appreciation for every day, what advice can you give us?
Well, count your blessings and look at everything. Appreciate everything, especially now as youth. You get instant gratification because you are able to go on the internet, you are able to use your phone. Try taking a moment to savor everything, appreciate everything that you have and see, and then finding joy in every moment, not living the moment and waiting for tomorrow, because you might not have that moment.
Well, thank you, Monica, for being here today and telling us your story. It was very, very inspirational.
You're welcome. Thank you.